My name is Ricardo Ochoa. I'm a missionary pastor here. I maintain and run the missions base here where we organize groups to go out on local short-term missions. We are in Ensenada, so from the border, from the Tijuana-San Ysidro border, we're down about 2 hours. It's the Baja North, but we're still very much on the northern tip. We're still considered a border community. The groups that come down to the mission base, they are a variety of groups. Some come with a plan already in place, what they want to go do out in the community, and we just provide a low-cost alternative for them to stay. Well, we have the community back here that is mostly indigenous. We, as a church, the Calvary Chapel High Desert started coming out here to do mission trips. They base their vision and their focus on migrant camps, which are areas of land that landowners give or allow workers to borrow. The workers usually come from south down in Mexico, mainly the state of Oaxaca. They come up and they stay in those homes and they work. And the landowners don't charge them anything for the homes, but they work them pretty hard. And the living conditions are pretty low, where there's no restrooms in the rooms. It's just square boxes. They stay in there, sometimes 2 or 3 families in the same box, and they have outhouses, and sometimes they have water, sometimes they have electricity, not all the time. And they're some of the most needy people because the kids don't go to school. There's absolutely no hygiene. There's no desire for any of those things. And so to go out there and just minister to them has a big impact. Even though most of the groups that come, and they ask us to help coordinate activities for them, to go out into the communities to see what the needs are, and based on what the group is that's coming and who they are and what their abilities are, we determine where best it is to go out into the community and bless the community, do some work. Really, the awesome thing about the groups that come out here is that they come out with the intent to bless the community, but really sometimes it's like the group gets blessed more than the community, just because God is working in such a supernatural way in their lives when they come out here. The community out here is mostly indigenous, and that's who we minister to. For a long time we were told we couldn't get indigenous and non-indigenous to work together or to fellowship together. Praise God that is happening. We have a couple other colonies in the area that do come here, and we have about 60% indigenous in the congregation, 40% non-indigenous. What we haven't been able to get to is the area down here below us, because here in Mexico the classes are very well defined, and that's a little bit higher class than the people up here on the hill, and they don't really interact with each other. But our desire is to build out a church right on the hill, right in the middle of the hill, where it's halfway between the community here in the hills and the community down there, and just see what the Lord's going to do with that, because I believe that balanced biblical teaching is a necessity, and it's hard to find here in Mexico, where there's that Calvary Chapel balance between good doctrine and the leading of the Spirit. And it's usually one or the other, very religious or very charismatic beyond biblical order. And so that good balance in between is what we're looking for. And so they found this community here where migrant workers started establishing homes. They purchased a little piece of land, they built a little home on it, and so they're a lot more stable. They're still migrant in that they go from crop field to crop field in the area, and they still go back to Oaxaca every couple of years and spend some time there, but they're a little bit more stable in that they have a home here. My heart really is to reach out to people who need to hear about the Lord. But where the Lord has called me and my family is here to Mexico, and one of our main focuses is the indigenous community, because there's so much history there, and they don't trust the government, and so there's a lot of distancing. They're very secluded, they're very private, they're stoic, they don't interact very well with anybody outside of the community, and that includes religion. They don't allow any type of religion into their community that they don't know of, that they haven't approved. Through the work here and working with indigenous people in this community, we've been able to get into some of those communities down in Oaxaca, and we've been able to go in there and share the gospel, and we've seen people get saved, and we've seen people tell us, I've heard the gospel before, but I've never heard it like this. There's something different about it. There's a love that you guys bring with it. There's more, something special about what you guys bring is basically the responses that we've gotten. And that's really the thing, is God is a missionary God, and He's got a heart to reach people who need to know Him, who haven't heard His name before, who've never heard it shared in a way that they can understand. Really, our living expenses here per month for a family are about $1,400 a month. Is really what we need to get by. Since we've come out here, I don't think there's been 1 month where we've done that. So God's always provided. Somehow He's always been able to provide a way for us to stay out here. But those are the concerns. As far as being able to supply all the needs, the homeschool materials for the boys and all, per year, an average of $1,400 is what us as a family need to continue staying here.